of Tokyo. You can sort of chill here and relax, and you don't have to really worry about, I guess, like the hustle and bustle. It's a really populated city. I think the most populated city in the world. So even though people don't tell you there's time restraints, there's like places get packed, they get full, and it's safe here. And it's like 9:20 p.m. here, so it still isn't that late. But you might hear something. I'm like close to the park. Obviously, I'm by the river, and I'm also by the bridge. So if you hear some things, just be in the moment with me, if you will. Okay. So I pretty much wanted to talk about just like my overview of Osaka, especially compared to Tokyo. Um, I think I like Osaka more than I like Tokyo, just for the main reason that I just stated. So pretty much, it's giving like work, work, work. Like there's a lot of hustle and bustle, which it is to be expected, but there is sort of like this, like you pull your tie up, and like there's a just I feel like I've noticed it today. I think I hit the nail on the head today. Like in my head, it clicked. I'm like, I think it's like almost like this stuffiness that you get, and I'm talking about being like, even when I first came here, I was here for a whole month, and it's like that stuffiness that you sort of get where everybody is wearing business attire, because everybody's going to work, um, and then when you have such a large population, especially people where to be an office worker and stuff like that, and everybody wears like the same suit, men and women, it's pretty much the same thing. Like it sort of makes you feel like a regular, like as a regular person, especially being more casual like me, living in the name for like 3 months and being on a beach city. Like it really does make you be like, oh my god, like I need a, like, girl, like I was debating if I was gonna ever like even wear sandals, because like you know everybody's in like business attire, not even like business casual. Like if it's business casual, like you literally gotta go the most dressed down I've seen people is like baristas and like people at the Apple store. When it comes to like a lot of the jobs, other than like shisha places, bars, and stuff like that. But I'm not counting that. So at least for me, I think that really does have a lot to do with me being more comfortable with like living in Tokyo per se long term. I think there's not a lot of greenery. Like I know that they're trying to change it where they have way more greenery and parks. Like they definitely do have beautiful parks and stuff here. But for example, like Osaka, because of like their bay and like that curve that they have, um, a lot of the times it's a little bit more like uh, you're more exposed to like water and the elements and stuff like that. And me being a slow traveler, you also got to see like what's good for you, what do you like more, what do you dislike. And I've always been a person that wants to be in the city, but something like a metropolis where it's just like a whole bunch of city, I don't think a whole bunch of city is necessarily for me, unless I and this is going to be the kicker. Like when I do go to places like Malaysia and Singapore, for example, and they're very perfect purpose, and a lot of their architecture, they add a lot of greenery. So I wonder if I'm going to like notice it for one, or am I going to be more embracing towards it, because I'm more of a I want to have more of a slow pace of life and be more relaxed and casual versus and there's a lot of things like even like with the city, like it's more like segregated, like where there's like this is an area where they have businesses, this is another area where they have um, like like the Harajuku or the fashions, and this is like where the young people are at. This is where the finance district is at. This is where anime is at. And it's great to have places where you can go specifically for one thing, especially in a city that's so big, because they're very, very, very efficient. Like even when people say they're technologically advanced, I don't necessarily think that's the case. Like especially now, far as like cities in the world, like you do have like places like Dubai and cities in China and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that necessarily they're the most technologically advanced, but they are very, very efficient, and day to day life is thought out and is considered in their designs and how they build everything. So life is easier. They're very efficient. So, but when I was in Osaka, I just felt more relaxed. The vibe, like, I haven't had any like bad experiences with like anybody here or any people here. Um, like not at all. Everybody's been nice, kind, gracious. Uh, but it's just the feeling and the vibe is more casual. It's more laid back. Like if you speak and you say hello, like, because sometimes people stare, and if I happen to see it, and it's like I try not to make eye contact, but then when I do, I'll say hi or whatever, and I got way more of a welcome response versus most of the time in Tokyo, people like sort of look the other way, and it was like, oh, like not in a bad way, but it was more like a, oh, like, oh, that's rude of me to stare, versus like Osaka was like, oh, hey, or like, and they like wave and like keep on walking. So also the food, I feel like the food is more accessible. I don't think that they had, like I feel like they had way more like casual places to eat. You feel more welcome to go eat, cause like especially like a lot of their shopping areas, they have sort of like an awning type of situation. So I really do like the awning. So when it's super super hot and or rainy or whatever, you're shielded for the elements, and you can walk miles easily. I don't know how far you can walk, but it's like that whole area. Even how they got the malls and the layering, so it's way more open for people to sort of sit around, um, to convene together, to be communal together, and you don't necessarily have to feel like you got to get up and leave. Like this is one of the few places between here and like the train station in, I think it's Shinjuku or Shibuya. No, Shinjuku is that one where they have like this beautiful train station, and you can like watch the trains go by. But you know, and there's also like the parks and stuff like that. But even with that, you have to pay to get into some parks here in Tokyo. So even like with like shopping, there's more. I feel like the I feel like the shopping was a little bit easier, in my opinion, and it could be just because they had the World Expo in Osaka. So I am planning on coming back next year in fall. Um, this is other content creator. She's here in Japan, and she's having like a little get together and stuff in October. So I'm definitely trying to make it to that because I would love. Oh my God, like the ride out from Tokyo to Osaka in the mountains and the views. I cannot imagine how beautiful it has to be during the fall season. Like I love fall. I love the colors, like the smell, just like you don't got the bugs and all that other stuff. Like I just like I can't say that I necessarily have a favorite season necessarily. Like I every season has like their pros and cons in my opinion, but I just can't stand winter. I don't do the cold. But I think it's just like Osaka, food, the vibe, um, Well, that's another thing. I think also, because I'm trying to be fair, the public transportation in Osaka was way more expensive than Tokyo, but it could also be more like a maybe a money grab because the World Expo is there. The World Expo ends this at the end. No, at the I know during fall season. That is when the expo ends. So with that, at least I know that there might be a potential for it to go down a little bit more. I'm expecting it to go down a little bit more, but you never know. But I'm excited. So I'm back here in Tokyo. I actually have some family that's coming in. Um, and I'm really excited about that to be able to sort of like talk and convene and see some family. It even like show like it's like it's crazy. One of the my cousins was like, oh well, what do we need and what we do? I'm like, I'm that person that you can call. That's like, oh, she's been over there for a while. Like y'all, like that's me. So yeah. So at least with that, I'm happy. Okay. Um, I need to keep that in the picture. But girl, yes. So I also have, I'm still in the mindset of doing some type of rest. Um, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm probably super open to resting when I do go to Thailand. Because it's just a bunch of get up and go and stuff like that. And I think once my family like leaves, I can actually start to get back into certain things and start working on this editing, choosing if I was going to pay for this editing software or not, girl. Because I'm like, it's like so many things that I got to learn and teach myself. And it's also about giving yourself grace and your manifestations. And even with the manifestations, like I'm not going to tell like my full business. I think I am going to start having um like a channel, like not another channel, but I'm going to have a membership where I am talking about all my business. Um, Also, the nails, I got my nails done in the pricing way that they do, at least at this nail salon in Osaka, they add on. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, we're going to paint your nails, but then I want it chrome. And they just don't be like, oh, this is how much it is for chrome. This is how much this is for this. They add on an extra fee per finger. So it got really expensive, girl. My nails for my hands and feet was like almost $200. I should have paid attention to it, but I didn't. I can't remember if I spoke about that in my last video or not, but to each his own. Still beautiful, nice, amazing. I love it. But the thing about actually going out and about and especially solo traveling and being on your own, one thing that I really wanted to manifest is community, um, and mainly community with like my fellow women, and to find my tribe essentially. So now that I'm in a place where I did find my tribe, and I am in a situation where, well, I didn't necessarily find my tribe, but I have found friends that's like sisters to me, and I've also have found it's like this one situation that sort of happened, and I wasn't really expecting it to happen. And even though I'm saying it to y'all, like I still had to let it happen. Where I just gotta let it happen and let it flow, and it was completely, I don't know, like I did not expect to be in communication with a person like this. Um, so yeah, I'm not trying to say too much, but I was like, for example, I'm like, I need a sign, right? And I feel like with spirituality, you don't get to choose how your ancestors or how the cosmos connect with you or give you a message. You have to sort of be open and paying attention to your surroundings to sort of understand what is getting put out there to you and what is for you. Like some people, they get, I'm not trying to say they're crazy, but like some people hear voices, you know, and they hear something and it's like that's their intuition. Some people just feel things like they just don't feel or have a good vibe. Some people, um, numerology, like they see their numbers and synchronicities and stuff like that. For me, there's some combinations. I'll get a bad feeling, or I'll literally be walking or whatever, and I'll say something or I'll talk. And from what I've noticed, is like that's my intuition, or there's something or somebody speaking through me, like to me, where I'm verbally, especially when I'm by myself, and I'll just come out and say something. Um, but even with like, I noticed like in the last, especially the last year, it's definitely been like just numbers and numbers syncing up. So I've been getting a lot of 111s, 1111, so 4 1s, so 3 1s, and then 4 1s, and then also some twos, and maybe here and there I'll get some fives. But today I'm like, there's this one person, and I'm like, you know what? Let me not really talk to, you know, this person, this guy, and I'm like, just let me like cut that off. And I'm like, well, am I just jumping a gun? Is it fear? Am I thinking too much of it? Am I thinking too little of it? And I'm like, no, I'm not thinking, too much or too little. And then I started getting in my head, and I'm like, no, you are. And it's like, you feel this way because you got a bad feeling. Like, not like nothing was necessarily wrong or didn't work or whatever, but it's just sort of funny when it's sort of like another situation that's parallel to it. And that's the part that I'm not going to tell you about in full detail. But I'm like, should I keep this other communication open and stuff like that? Should I keep that going? Um, and just I remember I went to like the conveyor belt sushi place, right? And literally, it's so funny. Like, it's like this group of girls that's sort of walking in before, like we're walking in together, like at the same time. And I sort of like, step back because like the other girls seemed like she was really anxious, or her other two friends sort of sat back. But still, I just let them go. It was weird. It was weird, but I try to be as gracious, as possible, just with people in general. It's not because I'm necessarily in another country. That's just how I always been. Um, and they go and they get like their seat reservations and stuff, because everything is like you literally like tap everything in, you tell how many people and this, that, and the other, and it like put you in a line. They'll give you a number. So I can't tell you how many times like I probably had I ended up getting the number 999, and I was like, I never got this number. Like I'm like, maybe once I got it, and I'm like, but I haven't really been receiving no numbers like that. So I'm like, let me go and look it up. And child, and I was like, thinking about certain things, and I'm like, let me figure out if I'm gonna, keep open like certain communications and stuff, right? Like I said. So I'm like, just give me a sign. So while I'm sitting there waiting, it's telling me I got a 40-minute wait. It wasn't, but I still was like, I didn't have nothing to do. I was like not starving, but I could eat. And I'm like, I still haven't ate yet that day. So I'm like, yeah, let me just go ahead and, let me start thinking about this. Like I'm by myself. I got a few more weeks into it. I need to hit the ground running, and I need to start doing what I need to do, right? So I'm like, okay, let me just continue and let me figure out what I'm going to do, right? Let me figure out if I'm going to, oh, sorry, if I'm going to be continuing with like talking or, communicating. So I literally get a message from the person the same time I get a like ding, come in and check in for your ticket and stuff. And I'm like, this isn't a coincidence. Like I'm skimming over everything. Like there was so many coincidences that happened. And I'm like, well, coincidences. And I'm like, this isn't just a coincidence. I'm like, this is something bigger. This is something more. And I'm like, I was like, I'm just gonna have to like let it go. And whatever happens, happens. And the person was pretty much saying the same thing to me, like, hey, you know, like let's see, like, you know, let's just, we're being friends and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna have to have like a whole separate thing where I can sort of keep things like private, because I do believe in like negative energies and stuff like that, like coming in if you give like too much information. But I'm like, I'm telling you, like, this is such a weird freaking thing and a weird coincidence. Like, just how everything happened. But yes, I'm going to say that just to say that. Um, Believe in yourself, be open, like, for real, like pay attention to what you're wishing for, what you're manifesting. Like I literally, by the time I leave here in like what, towards the end of this month or 3 weeks or so, by the time I leave here, I would have been in Japan for 3 months. Like I literally hit that big check mark I had for like dog, like most of my life. I wanted to go to Japan ever since uh, Kiki Delivery Service, like Spirited Away, when I read the book Memoirs of a Geisha before it was even made into a movie. Like that's how long it's been since I wanted to go to Japan, and now I'm making plans and like getting ready to chat it up with people who like actually live here. Like when I do come back, like I'm like networking, like I'm living the life, like seriously, like I'm living the life. So I know I do look. I am tired. Like this retrograde has been kicking my ass. Like I am sleepy, I am tired, I am tired and sleepy. Um, so I think I'm just going to be sort of sitting back and relaxing or chillaxing or whatever. Um, I do believe things don't happen for. I believe yeah. Well, I believe things happen for a reason. And this situation here, amongst other situations, just in my life in general. But I'm like, I want to see where this goes. Like I am intrigued. Like I'm intrigued. So it's been a long time since like I felt that way or like that type of excitement and things of that nature. And I do believe that you do get to choose your life, your destiny. But I also think that when you ask for something, um, especially like certain qualities, specific qualities, like okay, for my anime lovers, okay, so I think like personality wise, because I'm divorced, um and one of my main things I did not like about my ex was like he just lacked a moral compass. Like if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. And like the mirroring you, the faking, like, oh, that's bad, but when you're around this person, that's you don't care, like you don't say anything, you don't stand up for anything. And for me, I have a very high sense of like right and wrong. And I think anybody has it universally. Like you don't need, in my opinion, you don't need religion to tell you what's right and what's wrong. Are you hurting somebody? And especially, are you hurting somebody intentionally? Okay. Are you hurting yourself? Okay. Do are you trying to be a better person? Not because of what you think you're going to get, just because you want to be a better person and you don't want to hurt your fellow man. You don't want to hurt your fellow environment. You don't want to hurt animals. Like, I feel like, I just have that philosophy, like worry about yourself and see what life gets you. Okay, just worry about yourself. Okay. And then when it's time to step, like it's all like, especially like it's harder to step in and to do the right thing because people, like a hit dog will holler. That's a southern saying. A hit dog will holler. Like people who are always doing wrong and always trying to force people to forgive are the main ones always committing atrocities. So you just gotta, do what you gotta do. And I say all of that to say, like, even now, constantly, like, I'm working on myself. I am working on being a good friend, maybe one day a good person to be in a relationship with. Like, I don't even want to say it. Let me say it. Let me get over it. Like, to be like a better like lover, a person to be in a relationship with, and literally thinking about, because things, like I said, things happen for a reason. So that let me know that, like, no, like there is no give and take. Like, I need a person that has a high moral standing. Like people like Tondoro, Rengoku, like if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. If they say they're gonna do it, it's pretty much just been done. It's written in stone, and they're gonna do everything that they can. They are like positive. They're always gonna put their best foot forward. Consistency, like they are good people and they love because that's who they are. Like that's their strength. Like that's their identity. They have their own identity. And it's just sort of funny. It's like I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, is this giving what it's supposed to give? But it's just like the packages that you receive, what you deserve and what you ask for and what you want. And I'm not saying this is like the end all be all. I'm just saying it's making me change my perspective on certain things, and it might be a certain trail or pathway. And I think I had to sort of cut off another person to sort of catapult one situation that would actually benefit me. Because I know for me, like I have a hard time with, it's also like a double-edged sword. Like I don't want to hurt my fellow man, but I need to have boundaries. So if you're talking to me and you keep on wanting to talk about things that I feel like is too personal, and you don't know me and I don't know you, and you still try to push it, even when I said don't do it, and you do it again, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. So then, like, I discard you. Goodbye. I don't need you. Um, and it didn't stress me out and it didn't hurt me. It's just that, like, I also been asking, um that I am blessed with, like, if something isn't right for me, I don't have those feelings. Um my past like abandonment issues and my people pleasing and stuff, that doesn't kick in when I actually have that feeling. I trust that feeling because when you trust that feeling is you and your connection to everything else. And it's one thing with the universe and the cosmos, they will give you what you want, but if you're ready for it, you might not get it if you're around people and you're just going to give it away for those people to use and abuse your gift, your finances, your prosperity, and then turn around and then abuse you for what you was gifted. You feel what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that part out there. Like those are very important things to sort of think about, in my personal opinion. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna like give it time and I'll see whatever happens. But Life is good. Life is good. And I am Malaceo, coming to you from Tokyo. Okay, Malaceo of Tokyo. Okay. See y'all later. Bye.